Hello and welcome. This is Nolan with Discover NC Homes and Nolan's News. And today I wanted to talk about encroachments because I've recently had an experience with this. And you know, when we sell a piece of land or a home, not necessarily condo or townhome, but land or home, we are always supposed to recommend a survey. And a lot of cases, I think that is a good idea. And now I'm going to say all cases, but once in a while when we're selling in a gated community or amenity-based community, something of that nature, something younger that's been platted with the county, 10, 15, 25 years ago, sometimes a survey may not be necessary, but it might be if you do have any concerns, and here's why. Typically, selling something in downtown Southport that's 250 years old, you have to get a survey to make sure things are what they are. The neighbor may not, their pool is halfway on your side or your property line. But recently in a pretty young amenity-based community, had some encroachment issues with a fence. And it wasn't big, but it was definitely enough to cause a little bit of just misunderstanding and then how to deal with it. So ultimately we're getting the problem resolved, but it was interesting just to kind of go through it. Ultimately we think what's happening is easement will be granted by the neighbor or the owner, property owner, to the neighbor, and it was a small encroachment, maybe 18, 20 inches over and just a portion. But this can cause issue down the line. That's the important part for the new buyer or seller. If they don't get that taken care of, then when they go to sell and if it's discovered, it is an issue that maybe could have been discovered before. So I've kind of changed my vantage point on surveys a little bit, and I think they are good to get, I'm going to say all the time, just because, or at least if something's younger, you get a survey done if there's any question in your mind or your broker's mind about the possibility of an encroachment. Because again, you don't want to deal with it years to come from now when it could have been resolved when you purchased the property. We have some great surveyors here. If you have any questions, please let us know, but definitely something worth at least looking into. All right, thank you.